right, I'd like to call the meeting to order. We have a very short agenda today, which is a nice treat for us. So welcome, everyone. Oh, we have both Nicole, if somebody just asked who was coming, Tina and Nicole, and I said, I'm not sure. But anyway, one of them will be here at least, so welcome, everyone. I do believe we have a quorum.
Yeah, we do.
We do. So, Liz is unfortunately not with us today. Her little boy is ill, so she's home taking care of him, which is where she should be probably. So. And a reminder to everyone, this is an open meeting, and we do adhere to the open meeting law. Announcements. Does anyone, any of the board members have any announcements?
It's cold.
It's cold, yes.
I'm not sure where this should be put, but I just wanted to bring up the fact that if you've noticed, there's no report from the Senior Housing Committee, but I've been going to the dump the last couple of days getting back from Maine, and you notice that there are almost every house on Spectacle Pond has a no intense housing.
Right.
And what I'm afraid of, and what we need to be aware of, is even with senior housing, people are not seeing it as senior housing, they're just seeing it as compacted housing, and there is going to be a problem that we're going to run in all the way across town of not in my backyard. Because that's the way they're going to see cluster housing, even if it's a senior development. So it's just something that we need to be aware of, and we're going to have to be struggling with as we try to implement the new senior housing laws.
Well, a lot's been going on this summer. You have not been around for some of it.
Oh, I have, yeah.
Yeah,
I've seen it before, but it's
but also,
almost every house now, all the way around, and it's not in my backyard, basically.
but basically too, it's, when that whole development started, there was concern about the water issues and a lot of issues out there. So, and yes, there will be times when these things happen, but the planning board is very good at managing things, so we have to keep our faith in them. And
But I just wanted
hopefully
to
we will.
Get that out, kind of from the senior housing
Right.
committee, that
There's a lot.
it is something that we're going to have to be
Yep.
watching, because we could run into this problem no matter where they try and put it up. So,
Okay.
I'll add to that, there is a meeting this Thursday with the planning board, and I've gotten a notice from Maren on 3 of the developments that will be talked about.
Is it this Thursday or next week?
The 13th, so it would be
Okay,
this week.
this week. Okay,
So
thank you.
she gave me an update on the 3 properties.
Right, and they're still working with those contractors, so.
Yeah, and it will be a while before anything is decided.
Correct. Thank you, Patty. But we would like to encourage seniors who might be hearing about it to attend the housing, planning board meetings when there are issues like this. It's good to be informed and to have the accurate information. So, we on the board, it's a very confusing topic, and it's hard to make sure that you have the accurate information unless you get out and you hear it. So, it's a good thing to go to. Thank you. So, I have one announcement that I'd like to make, and that is that in the past few weeks, I've been approached, and I believe I can speak for Tina and Nicole, they've been approached about, are we doing anything for Liz, our new director, who is expecting her second child in October.
I'm not going to the hospital with it.
You're not going to the hospital with it, no. But anyway, and in response to that, we have asked our director to give us 1 hour of her time to be able to, celebrate the event and show our gratitude and our appreciation to her as far as wishing her well with the soon arrival of her second son. This is not a first child, and it's another little boy, and she has a little boy, so she's not worried about baby clothes and things of that nature, but it's just a time to stop by. So we have picked a date, And the date is September 27th in room 233 from 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning. If people would like to stop by and wish Liz well.
Where would it be held?
Room 233. So if you are, we will have morning, coffee cakes and things of that nature available to, you can have a little treat after your breakfast if you come. And just wish Liz well and wish she and her family well while she's out and as adjusting to the arrival of a second child. So I'd like to make sure that, and if you're hearing anyone watching this, please help get the word around. The notice is short notice because we consulted with Liz. We didn't want to make her feel uncomfortable about it, but people that work here in the building, other town departments, as well as other seniors. I know Ann Lee had spoken to me about it. I've been approached by other seniors, and so we did decide to do something, just as a way of.
Could be for her instead of the baby, right?
Well, whatever you wish,
Whatever.
whatever you feel
Whatever.
is appropriate. All right, it's not a big event, but it's just a time to wish her well.
That date and time.
This September 27th.
Yep.
Room 233, 9:30 to 10:30 in the morning.
From 233 or 231?
233,
From 9:30 to 10:30.
correct.
9:27.
And the only other announcement is not really a new announcement, but I just would like to remind folks about the fact that Springdale Farm, Jamie Cruz offers 10% discount on Tuesdays to seniors. And our senior cafe diner it has a wonderful Friday luncheon, salads, and sometimes a few weeks ago they made Barbara Cam and Ann Sweat made red pudding, which was out of this world. So come down to the senior diner for lunch, and Thursdays are generally a special luncheon too, available for $3. So do get down to the senior diner if you can, as well. And then there's the Littleton Cafe across the street at Neshoba Garage. Every Tuesday, you can get lunch for $3. So get out now that the weather's not quite as humid. Yes.
Also, this Thursday's ladies' breakfast.
Oh, thank you. Dottie just reminded me that this Thursday is ladies' breakfast in the senior diner, 7:30 to 9, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. Come.
I
It's
thought
a
they
wonderful.
were going to combine them.
I don't.
That's just the
That
summer.
was for the summer.
Didn't go over, huh?
Mary,
No.
Mary,
Yeah.
Mary. That was just for the summer.
Okay.
Okay. So please do get out, seniors. If you're listening, get out and come down and visit. Go around, get around town. There's people offering specials for us, and we need to be grateful for that. So, and they're great specials. So, great opportunities.
Marge.
Yes.
Also about Barbara, is that now
Oh, the
Barbara Kim?
Barbara Cam. We have been trying to find a date to have a tea or something to honor Barbara Cam, who we voted to receive emeritus status from this board.
Right.
And so Ann Lee,
Her
do you have
family,
words?
yeah, her
Oh.
family would prefer, not on a specific date, but would prefer a Monday or Tuesday afternoon.
Okay.
They didn't know whether her other son from Ohio was going to be in the area or not, so.
Barbara, if you're watching, did you hear that? She's often watches the meetings, so that's good to know. So we need to find a date, time in October, preferably, that we could, and I'm looking at Barbara McCrae because the Friends would like to, I think we're gonna work together with the Friends to honor Barbara. She's done a lot for the Friends also. So,
Monday or a Tuesday.
a Monday or a Tuesday afternoon. We will find a date in October and get the word out. So start thinking about that, folks. Barbara Cam has done a tremendous amount of work for seniors in this town over the years. So we'd like to recognize her for that, even though she's very resistant to that. So,
Mary Kay was the last one we did it for, right?
correct.
Mhm.
Yep. We've had some wonderful participation by seniors in this town.
Yeah.
We have. So, Thank you for that, Ann. Ann Lee.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any other announcements? All right, moving on.
All right, wait a minute now, you're going so fast, Sergeant.
Oh, okay, well, I'll
Make
slow
sure.
down. We don't have a heavy agenda today, so,
All right. We talked about the September 27th, okay, the pretending for Liz's impending baby. And there'll be a time in October for Barbara Kim. What else was there?
The ladies' breakfast on
Oh,
Thursday.
yeah, right.
this Thursday.
Thank you, I knew there was something else.
Sorry, I'm just checking because Barbara's daughter-in-law had texted me, but I never read the text afterwards. So
Oh.
that was after we spoke. I just want to make sure that I
Oh.
am giving all the information.
Okay, go right ahead.
Thank you.
Oh, and we talked about the.
The Springdale Farm
Yeah, right.
and the Littleton Cafe and the Senior Diner.
How about the rolls on Thursday? Is that gonna continue?
That is continuing.
Yeah, I was gonna mention it.
Okay.
You can.
That's all right. Barbara McCrae will mention that. We'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
It's been very successful.
Sorry, I'm not finding it, so go on.
Well, if you find it, as
Yeah.
we go along, just you can
Okay.
interrupt us. We'll let you. So, all right. Can we move on, Bob?
Wait a minute. And what was the other one? It was, and Kathy's, Littleton Cafe.
The Littleton Cafe.
Springdale Farmers on Tuesdays. right?
On Tuesdays. The Littleton Cafe is Tuesday.
Discount day, yeah. Okay, and Littleton Cafe
It's Tuesday.
is Tuesday lunch.
Thursday and Friday, the Senior Diner.
Wait a minute. Littleton Cafe is the Tuesday discount for seniors. And what's the other one?
The Senior Diner on Thursdays and Fridays.
What about
Special lunches.
Huh?
Special lunches.
Oh, yeah. That's nothing new though. huh?
No, but I'd like people to remember about it, to come.
Okay.
All right. Moving on. You have a copy of the minutes of the August 13th meeting.
Move the minutes be adopted as typed.
We have a motion from Maureen.
Second?
A second by Ann Lee to accept the minutes as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It's a unanimous vote, Bob.
Mhm.
Thank you all. Come on up, Barbara. It's good to see you.
Good to be here.
I'm glad, yes, I'm glad you're here.
All right. Hello, everybody.
Aye, Barbara.
I'm going to read what's going on because I have a lot to say.
Okay.
And then if you want, I'll give it to Bob, so.
Oh, that would be nice, thank you.
So
That would be
he
helpful.
can look at
Thank
it.
you. I would appreciate that.
Good. So I just wanted to say that, first of all, the Friends are going to have great plans for the 2018-19 season. So get ready to travel.
Oh,
Yes, our monthly luncheons will be landing in different countries. First, it's Italy, and Il Forno is going to cater, and it's an Italian meal. Then the next month, excuse me, we're going to go to Germany for Oktoberfest. And then we have the Veterans Luncheon, which is American, and I am looking for a caterer. If anybody watching or any of you have somebody that you have in mind, please let me know, because that's 1 month we have to fill right now with a caterer.
Neshoba Tech,
They can't do it,
okay.
no. So that's why we're looking. And then in December, we're going to the North Pole.
ooh,
And then after that, we're going to have a Mexican meal. After probably January or February, we'll have a Mexican meal. And then we're working on the rest. We're gonna be going different places. So hopefully everybody will like that idea and come and join us and enjoy different foods and music and everything we're planning. Because we want to whet your palate with a different taste every time. And Nancy Levine has been busy with caterers and getting us ready for some great meals. And also, during our luncheons, there will be the door prize of 2 tickets to the O'Neill Theater. They are again donating 2 tickets a month for us to give away, which I think is really nice of them. Also, I did want to mention that Panera Bread has been donating bread and bagels and I guess some sweets every Thursday. If you're wanting something different, come in and to the diner and you can get a bagels or bread or whatever they brought that day.
That starts at 10:30 though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And we have some great volunteers going to Panera and picking up all this and bringing it to the diner. Also, then after that, our next plan is to find some programs that will give everyone a chance to be creative. You know, like we like some art classes and genealogy and anything else we can think of that would be more of, you know, a personal thing than, we have programs, medical programs. Now we'd like to see some people come out for creative programs. And if anybody
Nice.
wants to teach a class of any kind, they can get a hold of me and we'll talk about what can be done. Okay, then, yeah, they can call the COA office and leave their name and then we'll call them back too, is to, you know, to get them to help us. So anyway, this is our year of special events for our seniors, and I hope that we have a enjoyable year and make everybody happy.
Was it the road race that I read somewhere? 50% is gonna go to the Friends?
Yes, as
Isn't
a
that
matter,
nice?
that's very nice.
That's wonderful. How'd you manage that?
I didn't, as a matter of fact. I got a call that they had decided to give us some of the money that they get from the road race. And
Nice.
so, yeah, and that
I
should be
think
coming.
Loaves and Fishes got the other, I'm not sure about
I
the
think
other.
so.
Is this the
And we
Littleton-
get ours
is this
the,
the Littleton road race?
I'm sorry?
The Littleton road race this year?
Yeah,
Yesterday's road race?
yeah.
Race.
And we'll probably
yeah,
be
yesterday.
getting the money the end of the month. So it was a surprise and
Nice.
we're very happy that, you know,
Well, thank you, whoever
Yeah.
runs the Littleton Road Race. I'm not sure who runs that.
You do a very good job with the Action Unlimited by informing the people
good,
that don't read the broadcaster.
yeah.
That's good.
But, well, I want to thank Nancy for that. She makes sure that we get in there and into the Littleton Independent. She's a busy lady for the Friends, and we appreciate it, too. All my people on the board are good board members, so.
Good workers.
Yes, very
They're
good
good
workers. I
workers.
appreciate it. My
Yeah.
little Dottie Ruiz over here, she's,
Right.
she's great, too. So,
She's a
anyway.
great model when you have the table at the town fair, too.
Yeah.
Dottie is. She did a great job last year.
Yeah, so we are working as usual, and we're trying to do things for our seniors, and hopefully everybody else is too. And I want to thank Anthony's working on things for the seniors too. I appreciate it. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Do you notice some more seniors come to your affairs than before?
Well, we've been lucky. We
Yeah.
really are lucky because the seniors do look for what we're doing. And this month, I believe, I don't know if Tina knows or Nicole how many signed up for the luncheon, but usually, you know, it's like 75 or so.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about that, Joe, to answer, because I wasn't sure. I was signed up last week,
Yeah.
and at that point, they had already had 100 people sign up. This was last week.
Yeah, we have a waiting
So,
list
Yeah,
already, so,
For the Italian dinner?
for the Italian dinner this week.
yeah. going to Italy.
I ran right down and did it when I found out.
So remember, we're going to Italy this month.
Right.
And we do have a guitarist coming, so
It's next
it should be fun and good food.
Who provides the Mexican food?
Well,
I've never eaten any.
this
that's why
might be, it's not gonna be too spicy.
No.
I guess I can tell you one thing. We're sure it's a go, but Whole Foods is donating that meal to us.
Oh, wow.
December they're donating.
Yeah, December rather, right?
Oh, North Pole.
That's Mexico.
I know what, we asked them for December and a Mexican, but they're doing December and we're getting someone else for the Mexican.
Oh, they're doing the North Pole. Then, December? Ooh.
Yeah, you'll probably just get ice cream.
Bring in all the frozen vegetables still frozen.
Yeah. So wear your coats, your heavy fur coats and everything. Okay, that's all I have, and I hope that everybody comes and enjoys what we're doing, because we're enjoying doing it.
Wow, you do a great job, you really do. So-
Thanks.
Did the thrift
Thank you
shop
so
do
much.
well?
The thrift shop, oh yes, that did very well. In fact, we emptied it out on Friday, but we didn't really have a whole lot of bags to get rid of because people had come in and
Yeah.
bought. And today we started filling it up again.
Mhm.
So there's gonna be some super duper winter clothes there.
You do a wonderful job with the outside lobby.
I just like to play.
Beautiful.
Love to play. Play with clothes and
Oh.
dolls because the mannequins are our dolls.
I look with envy at some of those uniforms.
Right there.
Yeah, we all know Cynthia, who stands outside the thrift shop. Okay, so I think, is there anything else?
I
Anybody?
think that's great, thank you.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Yeah, no, you all do a great job. We're
Okay,
very lucky, we have a very active,
Who's
great
doing the
friends
senior
group.
day, the grandparent day thing?
that's the COA, I believe. Is
It
that
is, I
Tina?
think it is.
Parent Day, is that?
Neshoba Nursing Service and Hospice are sponsoring it,
Yeah,
and it's
right.
going to be here.
Okay,
Can we put that in
Thank
the
you.
announcements?
Sure.
Can we go back to the, we will,
Thank you, Vern.
okay,
that's good.
there you go.
Okay, now there's a grandparent
I don't have my broadcaster.
day, it's an ice cream Sunday day, right?
It's, oh, good. It's in the broadcaster, hold on. You can get it out of the broadcaster, actually, Bob. Isn't it, it's in there, isn't it?
What date are you looking for, the wellness?
No, no,
No.
no,
The
the ice,
the grandparent ice cream social.
Oh,
It's the 26th. 26th at 1 o'clock.
26th, 1 PM.
It's the same as the class.
I know. We can catch that later, Bob. I'll get the rest of it for you later. All right. We're moving on into old business. And the first item, thanks, Tim. The first item on that is an update on the Town Building and Space Needs Analysis Working Group. And I just would like to send a message out or ask each one of you on the board, and those board members who are not here, who can catch up later, that all ideas are welcomed. And we're looking for ideas for short-term and long-term, but really, whatever you have, as to solving the space problems that we have. And we have some big space problems in town right now, as far as lack of space for, the school department needs space, the town clerk's office needs space, everybody seems to need space. We know seniors need space. So please, as board members and anyone listening, if you have any ideas, send an email to myself or to Anthony or to anyone. And you never know how an idea can trigger whatever, another thought in somebody's mind. So get your head thinking and processing and share, because it's a very complex problem. We are working diligently now. The the working group is continuing to work to define and gather more information on a possible, complex being developed. But that's a long-term goal. That's one of the things we are working on, looking at it, seeing if it would be possible. But the short-term needs really are still, critically important, and we are also focusing on that. So please, 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 put your thinking
Has
caps
the
on.
library received their money yet?
Well, no, that has to come to,
Fred? No?
they know that they are going to be getting the money. It has to go before the town, though, before anything happens, and so that's still out there, Mary. But, we'll see what happens with that. That's another piece of the whole puzzle. But that's a long-range plan, too, fairly long-range, So, but think about short-term, if you walk by an area and you see, you think, why isn't this space better utilized? Ask the question. Send an email to somebody, myself, as I said, Tony, Anthony, or whatever.
Do they have any kind of a timeline in terms of coming up with solutions?
As fast as possible, which is not really very, no, there's no, as far as the board, the structure of the board and the anticipated length of duration of the board's existence, there has been nothing defined because we don't know how long it's going to take to finally try to figure things out. Can you add to that at all?
Yeah, so, Bob, what we did is we went out to bid right now for an OPM, which is an owner's project manager, on any potential building project in Massachusetts. The laws require, over $1.5 million requires us to have an OPM on board. So right now, we have gone out for bid. The bid closing date is September 18th. So that person or persons or that firm will join the committee and trying to outline where we go. Whether it be building a renovation or what have you. So it's a step.
Okay, but, it's difficult to deal with both long-term and short-term. Long-term, I understand, where it could be made a whole change to this entire complex and so forth, but there are still the short-term needs which at some point need to be addressed.
Right, I know Selectman Napoli is out there. She's been looking at some space for various uses for town business. So we're looking, and then we have to determine what's the most immediate need where we can have some relief. So there's a lot to it. It really is a lot to it.
It's very complex.
Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
and it's just not an easy, because you don't want to forget one group, but, you're trying to balance everything, so, to help make the best decisions.
Things such as converting to electronic storage to eliminate many, some space being taken up by file cabinets and things of that nature, that's being explored. So there's a lot going on, but people might have ideas that are relevant. We've looked at what or who could possibly leave this building and be housed in another building and not have it be a detrimental effect, on that department or whatever. So it's very complex. But as I said, any ideas are welcome, and I wanted to make sure people knew
Oh,
that.
I have a good idea.
You do?
The library leaves, Park and Rec goes there, and we get the end of the building, south.
Yeah. Well, there's more people involved. School committee, school needs space,
That was an easy solution.
but that doesn't meet the needs of everybody, Mary. That doesn't meet the needs of everybody that's involved that needs space. So,
Yeah.
but you're right.
But it's not as easy as that, Mary, because if the library was to move and that space became available, well, then we'd have to do some renovations. And when you do a certain amount of renovations to an old building like this, you have to bring it up to full ADA and AAB code.
Right.
Once you do that, you're talking a lot of money. So even that is not just a simple solution.
Big expense.
Any solution is money, and it's just a matter of how much, and given the citizens a little to the opportunity to see what is, options are available, to them.
Everything's money.
Everything's money. We can do anything, but it costs
right.
us.
And at some point, it becomes less expensive, just tear the whole foolish place down and build a new one.
Start all
Then you
over.
gotta find a place to put everybody while you do it, so.
Start
That's a
all
short
over.
term. So, yeah, it's not easy.
No, because even with that, say if we were to build off of the slope site with the library, then the good thing is that you can still be housed in this building while that's being built, so then you don't have the relocation
Yeah,
costs associated
right.
with that. So it's a lot. It's a really, it's an enormous project, so, and we have a long way to go,
Yep.
unfortunately.
But, as I said, ideas are welcome. Please,
Absolutely.
yes, please put your thinking caps on. All right, now I just really wanted to get that word out. That's why I keep this on the agenda, because it is such an important issue, because it does affect seniors too. I mean, we are very needy, so, not that other groups aren't in town, but. Okay, all right, moving on. Under old business, changing the time of monthly meetings. Now, we discussed this at our meeting last month, and the end result was that we took a vote, and I'm just trying to find you the vote so I can, the wording of it, so that I can, I believe the vote was table the discussion until we find out what Dr. Michaels would suggest would work for him in a broad sense.
Right.
That was the vote that we took, and so that's where we left off. Now we need to go back and revisit that. I have had some email interactions with Dr. Michaels, and this is what he has shared. After 4 p.m. on Tuesdays and after 3 p.m. Thursdays works well for him, although that may change with schedule changes. And that was the feedback that I received.
Tuesday and Thursday.
So, I'm suggesting that we approach this today from the point of view of going around and, you know, just saying, for example, would either one of those 2 days work for people? Would they be in favor of it or not? And then we can go from there. Does that sound like a fairly reasonable plan? Those are the 2 dates that he has, or days that he has.
Okay.
What were the hours again?
Give me those again, please.
After 4 p.m. on Tuesdays. After 3 p.m. Thursdays.
But that's not a commitment for even, say, a year.
Doesn't say. He doesn't specify. He says, I feel bad that we may possibly change a steady Monday schedule for a less steady evening schedule. And he was unable to attend today because of his work. He had been on vacation prior and returned after Labor Day, and things that, you know, he couldn't get away, so apparently. So, again, we discussed a lot about it at our last meeting, so I don't see the need to go through into that discussion again. And I'm just wondering if I go around and say, you know, for example, Ann Lee, would after 4 p.m. on Tuesdays or after 3 p.m. on Thursdays work for you? Would you be in favor? Well, you don't have to say whether you're in favor of it, but maybe just, because that would be considering a vote, I guess. I can't ask you to do that right now. So, but maybe just to get a feel of things, how else would you like to approach it? That's my suggestion. So that we tend to, because those are the 2 options he's given us.
Did he not give a time?
He did not give a specific time, other than after 4 p.m. or on Tuesdays, or after 3 p.m. on Thursdays. So,
Well, you were right.
well, we can do it anyway. I mean, I'm open. I'm not that rigid about it. I just don't want
I'm
to.
glad.
From my
Pardon me.
perspective,
Good.
from my perspective, that's very open-ended. Anytime after 4, anytime after 3.
Yeah, you're right.
We still it's still not narrowed down. That could be 8 o'clock, that could be 7 o'clock, or it could be 4. He also, when he was here, and this is the second meeting that he has missed, he also indicated that he has 2 children that have activities. So there's no guarantee that whatever we pick, he's gonna come because of children. I also wanna put on record saying, I don't think it's fair to change time based on one person.
I agree, yeah. I
So
agree.
I am saying, from my perspective, I don't wanna change the meeting. Neither of these times would be convenient for me. But I think there's a principle here, and that principle's being thrown out the window. That's all I have to say.
I agree.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments?
So Tuesday after 4, I mean, I guess I could do it. However, the community dinner, which we go to weekly, is on Tuesday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. For Ann Lee, who many times is cooking, I know that that would be an issue. And Thursdays is absolutely out. I could not do it. I would have to resign.
But don't forget, it's also, we're only talking about once a month. I'm just saying that, I'm not agreeing to it, I'm just saying that we're still not gonna meet once a month, not every week, so just keep that in mind when you're thinking it's one Tuesday or one Thursday.
I agree, if you want my opinion, with everything Patty said.
Okay.
Ann Lee?
Yeah, Thursdays are out for me, really. I've gone back to work one day a week, and it happens to be Thursday. So I wouldn't get home till like 3:45, and then I have choir on Thursday evening, so.
And their common suppers are there.
Right.
Neighborhood suppers.
Neighborhood supper.
And I usually
Neighborhood
help you with
suppers,
neighborhood
right.
suppers.
This is the
That's
common
only-
supper, this is the one at church. And
Oh,
so
that's right.
Yeah,
that's a
common
problem.
Thursdays, yeah.
He knew
Thursday is out as far as I'm concerned too.
Yeah.
Um,
Tuesday is pretty well okay with me, other than the Tuesdays that I am in charge of cooking for neighborhood supper. But I agree with Patty, though. It seems this has worked for all of us who are on the board, and
For
all of you
years.
for years. I'm new, but I just feel like Dr. Michaels knew when he came here and, put in his application, he knew that the meetings were at this time of day, and
Well, I'm not so sure that he knew then, but
And
I
we also-
has learned since then that that's when we do meet.
We also stated that to the board of directors, that the reason we agreed to replace, to have Gene and not Dr. Michaels was because it seemed very difficult for him to be able to be on the board, but we very much encouraged his use by the outreach workers and so forth and so on. And I do not want to meet in the late afternoon or evening. I do not want to do that. So I guess I would agree with what other people are saying, is that I don't think you change for one person, unless it's me.
Okay.
5
Well-
no's,
I'd like to just offer my thoughts on it too, because,
6 no's.
well, I
Mary.
haven't said that yet, but I want to mention my concerns. And I have a lot of concerns because I personally feel that, and I think most of you feel the same way, that one of the obligations of being a board member is you need to be available to attend senior events and intermingle with seniors so that they feel they have access to you. You speak for them, we represent them. And we do need to be available around during the daytime events that are going on. So that disturbs me immensely because I don't see how that can possibly happen in this case. As well as the fact that, yes, you can make changes, but we do have a structure where we have subcommittees and they meet during the day. So that's another piece that would have to be figured out, and I just have a lot of concerns about that. Personally, I cannot do Thursdays either. Thursday would be out. Tuesday would be the only possibility for me, and that would mean missing neighborhood supper. And I attend neighborhood suppers again for that very purpose of trying to interact with seniors that attend the neighborhood supper, and there are a lot of seniors that go to that supper. Plus, I also help my own church when we do cook it. So, and yes, it's only one Tuesday night. So I don't know which Tuesday night it might be that we would pick. But I have a lot of concerns about a board member not being a board member and not being able to be accessible for seniors because of work. I just thinking maybe the time isn't quite right.
May I say something?
Certainly.
This would also influence the outreach department. They go home 4 or 5
Well, we
o'clock.
would lose, you're right, Mary. We would lose having the friends probably, maybe they would come to an evening meeting, but, the staff, unless it affected them and they were told they had to be here, which I'm sure they wouldn't be happy about, having to come to a night meeting. So, and Liz, who normally is here, the director's normally here. I don't know what would happen with all of that, whether we'd have their presence in the evening. And I find that, disturbing. I guess that's the best way it's a concern of mine. What would happen and how. So I feel I'm torn because, it's unfortunate. We have a person who has a lot of knowledge, I'm sure, and can be very helpful and instrumental, but I'm concerned, and I'm not thrilled about. I already attend one evening meeting twice a month for the town, and I don't like it, but I do it because it's part of my responsibility. I offered to do it, but I hate night meetings, so I hate to ask to have another one. I really
And
do.
the trust meeting that I've now been assigned to that group will be meeting in the evening.
So you'll have another evening meeting. And so, yeah, I don't enjoy going out for evening meetings,
It's
personally.
very unfortunate, I think, to be put in this position as a COA board at the suggestion of the selectmen. I mean, that's what I find upsetting.
It's embarrassing.
It's kind of say, you guys take care of it. And they did. They said, you should consider changing your
And we
hours.
are. And we are doing what they requested.
This is a senior board, and seniors don't tend to go out at night.
Right.
He's younger, he can bring a lot of knowledge to the board, but if you read his application, he was more interested in the marijuana issue that's been taking place around the state. And that's not an issue for seniors, basically, at least in this town.
Wait till we got the baby boomers.
Maybe
If I
we should take it
remember
all out.
correctly,
Um,
when he was here, we acknowledged him and we suggested that he'd find other departments in town that he could give his expertise. When he left here, that was my impression.
It was, but his application still had to be dealt with, and it went to the
With the selectmen,
board
yeah.
as an applicant.
Yeah.
And did you know Jean was going to resign, or?
No. Well, and unfortunately, what happened, and it is unfortunate in a way, Dr. Angus was here at our board meeting, and then the selectmen's meeting was that night. You instructed me to express to the Board of Selectmen at that meeting that we would like to recommend that we find ways to get him involved in some aspect of town, and that we recommended that the 3 incumbents be reappointed, and they find other ways to get Dr. Michaels involved. That was your recommendation to me to take to the selectmen, which I did that night. And it was at that meeting that night that I believe the chair of the selectmen said, you need to think about ways of our times of changing your meetings perhaps. And then they said they tabled their vote. They couldn't come to a decision that night, and so they tabled their vote and put it off for 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, Gene Johnson resigned that morning. They had their meeting at night. There was an opening on the board, so they appointed the applicant. Angus Michaels was the applicant, and there was an opening on the board, and so they appointed him. That was how it all happened.
Okay.
And, and I feel badly myself, but, we know as a board how hard it is to get seniors to go out and vote, even. And it's just sometimes hard to get seniors out, and so you really need to be out there working with seniors to have a sense of, a pulse of things, and to know what's going on. I'm sure people that work with seniors know that, so.
Call for a vote.
You call for a vote.
Before
All right,
we take-
before with that, we have more discussion.
I
Okay.
move that we retain.
Wait, Patty would like to say something.
Before we take the vote, is it possible for me to speak with you about our pre-meeting that you and I had with Liz before we have the vote? Just for 2 seconds?
Not really. I can't excuse myself from here, no. I don't believe I can.
It might impact the vote. It's just a question I have.
It's nothing you can ask, no? I don't know what you're referring
Do you
to.
want me to, you want me to just ask it?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about,
Just
so
ask.
I don't know. Ask.
Let me give you. We had our pre-meeting on what, Tuesday?
When the agenda was set?
Yeah.
You and Liz and I.
Yes.
Look at my writing there.
Oh, yes.
I thought that was the proposal.
That, I just, and I did that. I said I was going to go around, but I cannot, oh, that was the wording, oh, you wanted the wording of the proposal to be?
I thought that
Oh,
was
I see.
Liz's suggestion.
It was her suggestion that we don't get into a big discussion and that we just approach it from a point of view of,
But I thought she indicated that time. That's why I wrote that. I could be wrong.
4:30 on Tuesdays and 3:30 on Thursdays, or, yeah. Instead of 3 o'clock.
Yeah, he has to have time to get here,
Right.
that's why I said after.
Right.
But that's not your proposal when you said.
I haven't made a proposal. I was just suggesting that I go around the table. I wasn't going to go around the table and ask for each individual person to vote. I never felt that.
Now can I move the vote?
All right.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, the vote has been called.
Yes, well, and he's going to make a motion.
I move that we retain the present time and date of the COA meetings for the present.
Second the motion.
All right, wait a minute, we gotta get that written down. Does anybody-
got it written
You
down.
got it written down? Okay, all right, is there any further discussion? I'm sorry. So we have a motion on the table.
To retain the present time and date of the COA board meetings for the present.
All right, no further,
Didn't hear it.
go ahead.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure I heard.
no, that's fine. All right, any other further discussion? Everybody's left the room. No, except Tina, she's the only brave one staying, so, sorry. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Vote is unanimous, okay,
All right,
which is what I said.
okay, thank you.
Now, let me tell you what I'm putting in the minutes. The issue was changing the time of monthly meetings. Dr. Michaels has suggested that after 4 p.m. on Tuesday or after 3 p.m. on Thursday would be best for him, which might change. Members found both times to be extremely difficult. It was also necessary for a member to be involved in other meetings and procedures generally. It was voted unanimously to retain the present time and date of COA board meetings for the present. That's all I put in there.
All right,
Good,
I think that's
very
good.
good.
Okay, thank you, all. And I think all of us feel, I know I feel it's unfortunate, but it's a difficult thing to try to work around at this point, I think. Okey doke. We have no new business. How about that? So, Tina, well, Bob has some reports, and then Tina's up. As soon as Bob does his reports. Which should not take long.
Is the meeting this Friday for the Wellness Committee at 12:30?
Oh,
For the
awareness subcommittee? Yes.
I sent,
12:30?
I sent you an email
Oh, when?
today.
I'm here, okay,
Well, I sent it this morning.
okay, what'd you say?
It's Friday at 12:30
Oh, good,
in
okay,
room 205.
because that's what my calendar says at home, and I live by the calendar and the weather and the clock.
Okay, thank you.
Good,
Okay,
I'm glad
All
to
right,
know
Bob.
that.
Okay,
Thank you.
Mary. We're
Thank
moving
you.
on.
the budget report. The one report that you have is
This one?
the one that I put separately in your. Okay, we're having a lot of trouble. They've got a new accounting system in the accounting office of the town, and they have not been able to produce the kind of things we need for a lot of things, but we've been able to work out getting what we have. So this is the office budget with the expenditures for the different, this is not mod at all, this is just the regular budget. And there's nothing unexpected in what's here, unless somebody has a question.
I do. On the outreach coordinator, is that 1 or 2?
3.
Excuse me.
Oh, it's 3.
I assume it's now 3 because I'm assuming that includes not only you two, because it was a little more than what it was in July. Probably it includes the administrative assistant too, who is supposed to help the outreach coordinators. But I'm guessing on that. I didn't have the chance to, it doesn't break it down, that's the trouble, it
Okay.
doesn't break it down to the different people, it just breaks it down to, but in any case, that would be
Thank you.
two outreach coordinators, they do not give us, they deal them with, as staff.
Okay.
But the office, the,
The accounting system is what I'm talking about.
I know, but to your point, the administrative assistant hadn't even started in August. So she wouldn't
They're supposed to
be,
start on August 15th, that's why I figured it was that's what it said in Liz's report.
oh,
Bob,
well, anyway, we don't have
But
the
in
answer
any
to that.
case,
Yeah, we
if
don't
it's a
need to
separate
spend
line,
time
it'll
on
come
it.
as a separate line, but in the accounting office, I think it's staff, it's COA staff, as opposed to COA director, so all 3 of them may come on the same line.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
makes sense, yeah.
Okay,
We'll see, they're just trying to work things out and trying to get answers for themselves and then to get answers for us. Liz has spent some time meeting with them, trying to get squared away. And that is also true with the Mart report. They have no way of getting that to us at this point. But I noticed that something that was in your packet, which isn't supposed to be there, which is okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, it's just that you don't need it. There's a piece,
it's this,
which is there somewhere.
This.
Yeah,
This one here is basically what I send, when it's all filled in with the number of people and the number of items and so on. It all goes to Liz so that she can make out her report to Mart to get reimbursed for, but it does include the driver's hours, and that would normally be in our Mart report. But that's all I can get right now, and I'm only getting that from her timesheets. It is not coming from the town at all, so I have no way of knowing whether it's what the town has or not. But we'll get that straightened out, and we'll eventually get to that point. So that's all the reports I have.
we have 500 in postage. I thought although there's 325, I thought the Friends pay,
Depends on certain things. There are certain things which are paid for, like the mailing of newsletter which comes from donations. But the, for instance, cards that are sent out from the outreach people, to people and things like that, and general postage, we have $500.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
okay. Come on over. Who's ever coming to the table? Nicole is. Did I hear that you are having a birthday?
I am.
Oh, well, happy birthday
Thank
to
you.
Happy birthday
boy.
to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Nicole.
Happy birthday to you.
Now that I've embarrassed you.
Thank you. Okay, so for October, so in September we started a support group for anyone affected by addiction. It's the first Tuesday of every month, from 5:30 to 6:30. So in October, that'll be October 2nd. Bob, I'll give this to you at the end.
Yep.
October 13th is the wellness fair from 10 to 2. The Living Alone and Living Well group is October 18th. Bereavement group is also October 18th. The caregiver support group is the 24th. And Sharon Noley is the speaker from Summit Elder Care. And social anxiety group is October 9th and the 23rd.
It's very nice the way the menu is with all the activities on the inside of the cover on the broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's very
It
nice.
does look nice.
It's quick. You
Yeah.
can pick out.
I like it too. And Monday, October 8th is a holiday, so we're closed. And that's it for October.
Well, that's nice. You
That's
people
it.
are doing a lot of groups, it seems. You really
It's
are
been
busy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a good thing.
It is good.
Yeah.
Good to be
Would you
busy.
give this to Tina for me, please?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We got a big copy this time because it's like, whoa, this is easy to read though. It's not hard to visually see it. So thank you. All right, in your packet, you have a copy of Liz's report. The director's report
Yeah.
on August.
Yeah.
So she would, if she were here, would go over it and highlight it. And I'd like to suggest to you that you take a look at it. If you have questions, send her an email. Is that okay with you? If anybody has any questions for clarification purposes? You have to remember now, she shares this with us just to keep us up to date so that we're informed, as to what's going on. Because our role is not to certainly supervise her, but to, work with her and support her. So if she has any needs, she will let us know. But she really does this just as a favor to help keep us informed. So, as do Tina and Nicole too. It helps us understand, what's going on, and so that we can have a better sense of things. Okay.
Whoa, I want to talk
Whoa.
about that. Just give me a minute.
Give you a minute. And while I'm giving him a minute, we're gonna soon be taking a vote on accepting the minutes, the reports. Okay?
I'll make a vote. I can.
Okay.
All right.
We're evidently looking for another van driver. For Mondays and Tuesdays, so that's something that the amount of rides and the amount of needs of rides is getting to be larger and larger, and it's gonna create a problem.
In what respect?
Huh?
In what respect?
Well, that we're gonna have to have more money for more drivers, and we're gonna have to make, some kind of arrangement, because Mart is $68,000, no more, no less. So it becomes another budget item which we're gonna have to.
So currently,
Just so we know, I'm
yep,
just telling you this so that we know.
so
What
let
is
me,
pickleball?
Pickleball.
some kind of game like cornball.
More like tennis.
It's
Yeah.
kinda
Oh,
like tennis, only it
okay.
uses a hard paddle,
I know.
thing.
Right, right.
So Bob,
Out
This is the
here.
new in thing.
can we go back to the Mart thing? Currently, with the two drivers, or the drivers that we currently have,
We have 5 drivers now, and they're averaging, where's that sheet? Somewhere in my pile.
okay?
We didn't get
But
that.
that will tell you, if you look at that sheet that I send to Nicole, that I sent to Liz.
We didn't get that one.
This one?
Yeah, the
This
one
little
you
one?
held up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Okay.
that one. Oh, that, okay, sorry. Gee whiz.
I don't know what they do with my copy, but that's.
Here.
All right, so what this basically says is that we have, at the present time, 5 drivers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Palmer, Campbell, Kent, D, and Monahan. And they are, on a month, they are putting in 293 hours. And that cost expenditure is $4,642.31 for that month. Some of them are putting in as much as 59. If you look across at the hours, it's just amazing. For
20,
instance, Monahan has been putting in 59, 50, and 58 hours in a month.
22.
That's a lot of hours, and it's overtime. I don't know how they're working this out, but it is a problem, but it's just the cost, 68 times 10, 46 times 10 would be 46,000, times 46 times.
No,
What am I saying? All right, 4,000 times 10 months would be 46,000.
46,000. But these are these are hours in a month, not in a week.
That's right, these are hours in a month.
All right, so then it wouldn't be overtime.
Those are only the 2 pay periods.
Yep.
They're 2-week pay periods, so you're right. It would be
Okay.
for 2 weeks period, they would be paying 60, they would be doing about 30, they would be doing about 30 hours a week.
So the way it stands now, if the monthly budget is approximately $4,600, would be approximately $51,000 or $52,000 annually.
But that's not the whole cost of what goes into March.
Okay.
And so if you remember, we've just been discussions in the last couple of years on having to raise extra money for drivers and so forth, because they were going over the budget, and this is adding 2 more drivers is gonna add even more. It's a very difficult situation. Because,
transportation has always been.
yeah, the rides are necessary. We turn people away. We literally tell people, if you wanna go to get a haircut, Anthony and I don't have that problem, but most people, those kind of rides get stopped and get told that they can't go because we run out of money and time for drivers to be able to make those kind of runs. And that's with 3 vans. So, it's very difficult.
No, that has been, always has been, transportation always has been the biggest part of the problem and the biggest headache, I think, for any director, basically, and,
People working on the tax program couldn't do that.
drive
How-
a van.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, they can.
Does
can.
anybody,
22, Maureen.
does
I don't know
anybody know what this Mass Municipal Association Human Services Council is? You said that we just joined it.
So, Mass Municipal Association is just what it says, it's the association for all municipalities in the state of Massachusetts. Within the MMA, there's subgroups. So I belong, for instance, and Keith belongs to the Massachusetts Municipal Managers Association, MMMA. So the equivalent for Liz in Human
Is the
Services
human
is
services,
that, right?
okay. And I think what she's saying is that it provides for coordinated response to state policies. In other words, so that we can respond to what they're planning to do to us, to enhance the effectiveness of human service planning and programming, and to share ideas and promote cooperation among human service officials. I think that's very important, because what's happening is that we are getting into a situation where different municipalities are doing different things, and when we go to some of these meetings, we get amazed at what some communities are doing and what other communities are paying no attention to at all, and to have coordination. But this is over and above the Office of Senior Management or Senior.
Elder affairs.
Yes.
Yeah, elder care, yeah.
Yes, it's a
Okay.
great opportunity to get our voice at the table. You know, when these associations are out there, you know, they might be fighting for, you know, for the group that's there. Now we get our people in there to make sure that we also advocate for this community. So that's what, we're working with Liz, and that's why she joined. I think it'd be a great opportunity for her, for the community.
She also mentioned this thing about hoarding, which I think is very important.
Well, a few years ago, we did have a hoarding, a seminar type of thing going on, and I was on that, involved in that when it occurred. And hoarding is a problem, and it's a problem in this town, whether you believe it or not.
She should talk to my wife, don't tell her.
Well, come to my house.
You're in big trouble, it's on TV, Bob. Ellie's got you.
She doesn't watch this show.
But hoarding is a problem, and so this is something that, we need to, be aware of and learn about, so that we can also inform people and help out.
Well, there are some exciting things which we're getting involved
Yep.
with.
Had some very interesting things, and I remember when I was involved in it, it was with Neshoba Nursing. They have people that are very aware of hoarding, so.
And we did meet with someone from A Clear Path, and we will be starting some sort of an educational series. And right now, we have support groups that we can refer people to in Ayer, Stowe, Framingham, that
Great.
area.
That's great. So there's a little bit of movement going
Yes.
on about dealing with the hoarding issue and helping people and getting the information out. So it's important that it's a team effort, that the police and the fire, they sometimes are the first people that come across it, and and then they need to be educated so they can recognize a hoarding problem too. So anyway, thank you. And we thank Liz for getting us the report. But as I said, if you have any further questions for her, about any information on here, just give her an email or stop by and ask her. All right, may I have a motion to accept the reports? Please.
I move that the reports be accepted as printed.
Second?
Second.
Thank you, Manley. Been moved and seconded that we accept the reports as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. No opposed, none, no abstentions. We're good to go.
We have agreed that the holiday is the second Monday of next month, so we're doing it on the third Monday.
I put on the agenda.
It's on there, right, we all know that.
Thanks to Patty.
Yeah,
Patty, I had the first agenda
Columbus
put
Day.
together, and I had the next meeting in October wrong. And
Columbus.
So
Patty caught that.
That is the third one, the 18th, 15th is the third Wednesday.
Correct.
Right,
A third
right.
Monday.
Yes, it is.
Columbus is the second,
And Patty helped me out with that, caught it. I missed it, so.
right.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
So moved.
Oh, you have something, did you say?
No, I said a motion.
Oh, okay, and second.
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 All those in favor?
Aye.
Of adjourning? Aye, thank you.